I just want to let you know it's okay to be loved, man. It's all right to be loved. We all need love. Every human being needs love. The reason why people are so grouchy, the reason why people are negative, the reason why people, have a bad upbringing and this and that is because, man, they lack love. They need some love, bro. They weren't shown enough love in their life, bro. So now, they're a certain way in life because they lack that love, bro. Everybody needs love in life. And I feel like a lot of us too, like, we'll try to act like, oh, we're tough and this and that. And the whole time, deep down inside, you're hurting, bro. Deep down inside, you're hurting. You need somebody to love you the proper way. You know what I'm saying? This goes for men and women, man. A lot of us just need someone real by our side that really loves us, that really cares about us. Like, that shit is important, bro. That shit will help you even to go about your day every day, even to strive for better, to want better. Like, I feel like we can't hide this. We shouldn't hide this. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't hide this. If we're hurt, if we're feeling some type of way, you need to vent that shit out. You need to let that shit out and search for love. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, in my opinion, I think you need self-love before anything. So self-love can be you working on yourself, you going to the gym and getting right, you eating right. You know what I'm saying? That's a form of self-love because you're not eating certain BS so you can look a certain way. So it's like that self-love is important because if you don't love yourself, if you lack that love in yourself, then how can you radiate love to others? You feel what I'm saying? And like, if it's an upbringing problem, if it's a childhood problem and this and that, I feel like you need to get some help for that shit. You need to find a way to vent, find a way to let that shit out, speak to somebody, tell somebody your story, cry it out. Like, real shit, bro. Us as men, like, we got to be out here hard in the world and this and that, and like, take shit to the chin and keep on pushing and forget about our feelings. But bro, sometimes you need to tap into that shit, and let all that shit out, bro, because sometimes you hold on to shit that holds you back, and you go throughout life holding on to that shit, and you go throughout life in a different manner. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be pissed off all the time, or you always thinking negative and this and that. And I'm saying this because this is what happens to me. And it's not even like in my childhood, I was showing a lot of love. So I can't say like, oh, I lack love and this and that, but it's just certain scenarios we go through, situations or times and that breaks us, that really, changes us, and we need to find a way to vent. You know what I'm saying? My way is like, going to the gym, or I used to write music a lot too. I used to like to write music, express myself that way too. What else? Most of the time is that, like, going to the gym, getting a hard ass workout in, because sometimes you wake up pissed off and you wake up thinking negative and this and that. You go to the gym, you let all that shit out in the gym, like, and go hard in the gym and let that shit out, and a lot of us just need some love, bro. Like, sometimes you negative and you got this temper and shit, and you might need that person that's calm, that radiates good energy towards you, to be like, nah, baby, it's gonna be okay. Like, don't think like that. Like, why are you, like, talk to me and this and that. And sometimes we need that, bro. The world is so crazy and this and that sometimes we need that person on our side that's like, the calm person, the one that's radiating that good energy. Especially if you've been through a lot, bro, you don't need somebody else that's on your side, by your side, or whatever you want to call it, that's radiating even worse energy, that's making you tap into that anger and getting you more angry and more negative. Like, you don't need that. You know what I'm saying? You already got to battle that within yourself. So, like, don't have somebody next to you that makes that shit worse, bro. So I just analyze this shit a lot, man. A lot of, dudes out here are low-key hurt, and walk around here like tough guy and shit, and like, you know, mad or whatever it is with the stank face. And it's like, bro, you need to let that shit out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let that shit out, bro. Whatever you've been through, bro. I know it's, you know, I know if it fucked you up, it hurts. You still, you know, you still haven't healed from it. You know, it's a big pain. You know, you might have lost somebody, you might have went through some shit, whatever it is, bro. Like, you need to find a way to let that shit out, bro, because, you know, we could read that on your face, and you're walking around here with that energy, bro, and that shit's just not gonna attract you any good energy, bro. And, you know, I know it myself, bro, from things that I've been through, that, you know, that it's hard for me to let go, and it was hard for me to have gone through. So to the point where I'm like, sometimes I'll wake up and be on like straight bullshit and just feel mad negative and feel pissed off and this and that. But like, you know, like I said, like, we need to find like a venting, something to vent to, or, you know, through, you know what I'm saying? Like a process that you do, man, like pray, or go to the gym, or, you know, go for a run, go for a walk, go ride a bike, you know, listen to some music. I like riding my bike and listen to the music, you know, that gives me like in a different mode. Like I get, you know, motivated, and I get like, I just feel better and this and that. So those are a couple things I like to do, you know. And yeah, man, I think like we need to be, you know, sometimes people are so hurt and like have gone through so much shit, bro, that they don't think it's okay to be loved. Like, they don't even know what it is to be loved. Like, they won't even allow it, bro, because they're so hurt that they haven't healed from that shit, that they might block somebody from loving them the proper way, because they're either not used to it, they're traumatized, you know, they've been through so much that they can't believe it's real, that a person could love them, you know, like. And that'll happen, bro, when you go through like relationships, bro, that are messed up, like, you know, them toxic ass relationships, and the girl doing this and that to you, or if you're a girl and the dude doing this shit, and like, you know, they're doing this and that to you and sneaking behind you, and whole time you didn't know, and you found out years later or months later, or they did you dirty and this and that. It messes up your mind, bro, because later on, if you find that right one, like when you find that right one, bro, it's hard to trust, you know what I'm saying? So you're like scarred from all that bullshit, bro. But this is why I say you got to heal, because you can't put that on to the next person, bro. Like what if this person is being honest, bro, and you're just like, oh nah, like nah, I've seen this before and this and that. Like, nah, bro, like, what if this person's being honest? You got to give them the benefit of the doubt. And that's the only way you'll find that right one for you, bro, is by taking that chance, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they could be at work, or they could not be at work, and getting smashed on, or whatever it is. And you know, hey, it might be effed up, but that's just the reality of things, bro. It's like, you never know, you know what I'm saying? But to me, I'm just willing to take that chance. And I've been tried before, meaning in relationships, I done done dirty before, you know what I'm saying? Like super dirty, you know? They tell you, oh yeah, I'm over here and they're not over there, or, you know, the whole time there was like messing off with somebody else, or, you know, they're texting other people and this and that. Like, it's a lot of bullshit, you know? And like I said, you got to heal from that shit, because you'll bring that shit into your new relationship and mess up your new relationship with all that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times what I see too is like, bro, what you put out is what you're going to get. So, you know, if you out here getting into a relationship and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to still cheat and do this and that, and I'm a F off, and I don't care, and I'm just not going to get caught. It's like, bro, you got to remember, you're putting out that energy, bro. So like, you putting out that energy is not going to help anything that you're doing, bro, because, you know, you do bad and bad comes right back to you. So, you know, that's what it is, man. That's my thought process on the shit, man. And it's okay to be loved, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of us need that, bro. A lot of us need love, bro. Like a lot of us are hurting inside, bro. A lot of us are stuck to pain and traumas from before, bro. You know, you just need to be properly loved, bro. You need to first start on yourself, because, you know, when you love yourself, bro, that's the image you want to show the world. I love myself. And then somebody else could be like, oh, okay, you know, he loves himself, he takes care of himself, you know, that means he could love somebody else. That means I could love him and he could appreciate it, or her, you know, vice versa, whatever it is. And then you could find you the right one, or whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? But start with loving yourself first, man, because that's the most important thing, is loving yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then you could radiate that to other people, and heal from your traumas, man. You know, if you need some help, if you need a vent, if you need whatever you need to do that you think is gonna help you out, go and do that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that, you know, like, are aggressive or have a lot of pain and this and that, like, they'll go to boxing, or they'll do like a fighting sport, let that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Then, you know, when you come out to the world, once you're done, you let that shit out, then now you can start your day, or, you know, you have a better attitude and this and that. So, you know, find your way of healing, and go out there and you know, search for better, bro. You know what I'm saying? Become better and do better in life, bro. So remember that. It's all right to be loved, man. Let's get it.